Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Tonight I'm going to talk to you a little bit about your career plan. So for those who have left their role or are about to leave their role, one of the things that can be most helpful when you're doing that is to start looking at want the job ads. So what type of role do you want? And looking at jobs that are similar to something that you want. Now, it's a little challenging sometimes because career job descriptions can differ between different companies. They may use the same title, but they're very different roles. So you almost have to read into the details. But when people do that, it helps to say, does something in that job description excite you? Do you think that there's something about that role that would be something that you would enjoy doing? And so you want to capture those things because a lot of people, when they leave their role, they may have been there for a while and it feels overwhelming to even think about what kind of role do I want? What kind of industry do I want? What kind of job do I want? And so when you start to look at job descriptions, it helps you narrow that down a little bit and starts to help you think about the things that you really want to do. You can also use the roles that you've had in the past. What did you like to do? What did you not like to do? What are things that you thought you might want to do in the future? And that's what I want to talk about second is if you're in a role and you want to progress into that role in the future in some way in that company, it helps to understand what that role looks like and what do you need to get there. So I'll give you an example. So one of the people that I used to work with did this for herself and created this career plan, and she wanted to be like VP of procurement, for example. And she was a procurement manager at the time, so she had a long way to go to get to be a VP. And what she did was she actually mapped out the process and what roles she would need to have, and probably how long she'd have to be in those roles in order to be able to achieve that VP of procurement role. Sometimes that may also mean that you don't just have a straight process to get to that role. You may have to take some lateral roles in order to get the right types of experiences. So it is good to kind of put it out on a piece of paper and take a look at it and say, here's where I want to go, here's what I need to do to get there, and maybe what are other things I need to do to be able to have the right experiences to be prepared for that role and for other people to see that I'm ready for that role. So those are the two different scenarios in terms of career plan. If you're leaving a role, have just left a role, figure out the types of things that you like to do, either by looking at job descriptions or thinking about previous roles that you've had. If you're in a role and you want to progress further, look at what needs to happen in order for you to achieve that role, whatever level that is. Just try to map out the types of roles that you need to take in order to get there. And then if you need to have conversations with some of the people who have those roles, that can also be helpful. So you understand what types of experiences they had, what types of things they had to do in order to achieve that level. It may be very helpful for you to think about that too as you are creating your next year's development plan or your career plan for the year after that, so that you start to really plan for that and be prepared for what you need to do to achieve it. I hope this was helpful. I hope you're all having a great week this week, and I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July. And if you have any questions, please put them in the Facebook group. I would love to be able to do some videos that would be very helpful to you and answer whatever questions you have. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks.